in case you want your dog to live riveted and enjoy the Airstream lifestyle.
Puppy hats.
Puppy hats, little caps for your dog.
All right, so as you walk into the lobby here, which is just really nice. And the thing to really mention about this is that so much of this was done by
the volunteers,
volunteer club members. I mean, I think they said the only thing they really contracted out was like the carpeting, putting the carpeting, but all of these cabinets, like this cabinet right here, was all built by members. So of course, you know, if we're Airstreamers, we're all over aluminum. And look at how they've done this in the lobby here. You even get the little trim mark.
Yep.
In a Midnight Flamingo, this would be black, but
yep.
you know, they've got the rivets, the aluminum sheeting here.
Yep.
And I guess the Airstream company manufactured this desk for them. And they've got the cool We Rally Ohio license plate.
I love it that the taillights work.
Yeah, the taillights work. Ooh, we're gonna have to sign the guest book. But it just gives you that opening feeling, that space of you're in the premier RV club in the United States and Canada.
This is amazing. This is where they would do, you know, like the rally bags, stuff like that, do any kind of brochures, putting together, stuff like that. And also, this is the birthplace of the big red numbers.
Yep.
And this is a laser cutter. We have the conference room. And this is a great space for meetings.
Yeah, we were just here going over with Sherry and stuff, working with her to get our vendors. But yeah, when the IBT, the kind of the governing board of the club, they'll probably meet here and get some of the club business done, which is totally awesome. And you can kind of see the floor plan for the future. This is really neat. This is going to be a walkway with bricks.
And this is the phase 2 that they're doing, which are going to be some additional sites here, right?
Yep. So I'm in front of the original building from the early 80s, which is going to be turned into two things. They're going to turn it into a archives, and it's where all the documents and artifacts from the club over its 70 years can be stored. The other side of it is going to be a member, kind of like a lounge. There'll be like laundry facilities, Wi-Fi places, places where you can maybe get together. So yeah, I think this is really going to be take the club to notches unknown. So we're back behind the original building from the early 80s, and back behind the building they have designated some campsites where members of the Airstream Club can just pull right in. You can do this on the Harvest Host app through the Airstream Club portal.
That's how you reserve it.
That's how you would reserve it. It's free for Airstream Club members. They've got super nice 30 amp hookups. We couldn't find water.
Yeah, that
we
was
heard there was water, but we couldn't find it.
So comment below if you stayed here and you found water and how you found it.
Yes, so the super nice hookups, and right over there is a dump station. So even if you don't plan to stay here at night and you're just visiting, say, the Heritage Museum or the factory or whatever, the dump station is a great place just to dump your tanks, and then you can move on maybe to a boondocking site or to a Harvest Host. We've spoken a couple times before that we maintain a spreadsheet whenever we hear somebody say, you know, go here or do that.
Yep.
And we had a viewer comment when we did our chili, the Cincinnati chili recipe, when we were dropping off the Airstream. You can check out that video up here. And they said you need to go to Kewpee Hamburgers next time you're in Lima, Ohio. And so we finished up at the Airstream.
Yep.
We're gonna hit Kewpee, so thank you to that viewer who mentioned it.
Yep, and we're gonna see how it is. It looks good.
Let's go ahead and head on inside, get some burgers.
I get a burger with lettuce, onion, ketchup, and mustard. And you just sort of order it like that when you get there, and they'll make it to order. So it looks really good. So I was going to try a bite of the burger.
We just met a lady who gave us this recommendation for later in Sydney, Ohio, called The Spot. We'll have to hit there maybe. How was your burger?
This is a very good burger. You know, if you compare it to like McDonald's, this burger is fresher. It feels like it was just cooked. So it's better. It's very good.
But you said the fries were awesome too. You're kind of like an expert on fries.
Yeah, the fries were good. You know, they were probably very similar to a McDonald's fries, so they're very thin. But I think they feel like they're fresh cut, so that makes a difference.
And I think I made what I call the Wendy's error, thinking this is a milkshake, but I think I can eat this with a fork.
This is so good. You know, my standard best burger is the A&W burger in Middlebury, Vermont, which we might hit in a couple weeks. But this one is really good. Like Cindy says, it's got a fresh flavor. It's, you know, just cooked awesomely. Maybe a little bit overdone, but not too bad. And yeah, I'm literally eating my what I thought was a milkshake with a fork.
Yep.
So still good though. All right, we just hit the Wikipedia for Kewpees, and we just found out it's the second oldest hamburger chain in the United States, starting in 1923. What is the oldest?
They said White Castle.
White Castle is the oldest hamburger chain in the United States, starting in 1921. They also say, Cindy remarked that she said it tasted very fresh.
It did. It reminded me of an In-N-Out burger.
But they say that beef is delivered daily from local farms here in the Ohio region. So, I mean, I don't
And the
think...
prices here were very reasonable.
Yeah. So, yeah, overall, enjoyable time. Thanks to that viewer. And of course, even though we've seen it multiple times, we still love to get up onto the observation deck here and check out the Airstreams being manufactured here at the Heritage Center and Factory. You know, and for those of you that may not have an Airstream, we love having you on our channel and love all RVs. So
Yes,
we
we
love
do.
you guys watching our channel. But the thing I would say is, come do the tour. Even if you don't have an Airstream,
It's very interesting.
it is so interesting to see the manufacturing, how these things come together. We're hoping to see some other RV manufacturers here at some
Yeah, we'll
point.
get some on our list to do.
Yep. But it's just interesting to see how these guys come together. And
Yeah, it's a little quiet because it's Friday.
yeah, they apparently let their workers off either all day on Friday. They work
I think they work half a day on Friday.
or half day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not too much happening right now, but still, we're gonna go ahead and check out the Heritage Center.
And just a quick note, if you wanted to hit the Heritage Center, it's open Monday through Friday from 9
Yeah,
until
nothing's
4.
open this weekend.
It's
so.
not open on the weekends, so just keep that in mind if you want to do this.
All right, there you have it. So one of the cool things about the Heritage Center is that they are always updating it with different displays, and we heard that there's a couple of new ones, such as this 1936 Airstream Clipper, which is one of the original Airstreams. It was recently restored. I mean, it is a beautiful looking trailer. It's 20 feet, only 2,100 pounds, so you at least need an F, maybe 450 to pull this. You might be able to get away with a 350 dually, but beautiful. Check out the hitch.
Look at the rivets, how many rivets there are. The door is really thick, I think.
Look at this little hitch. How cool is that? Look at the design of that.
Isn't that interesting?
Just that beautiful look with the vents.
And it's got 4 vents across the top. But then again, you know what? This was before the age of air conditioning, so they probably had to open those to keep cool.
So the Airstream Company timeline, you can see 2002, introduction of the International CCD. That's what started the whole revolution of the modern look of the Airstream, which we've talked about before, which our Airstream was kind of sort of a part of that.
It's a hybrid.
Ours was the AS version, there was the CCD version, but yeah, Dickie Regal started all that stuff and brought Airstream where it is today.
Yep.
All right, this is a special unit we found, huh?
We're showing everything that we're finding that's new here, and this is a concept called the eStream, and it's supposed to be an all-electric Airstream trailer that can actually park itself using an app, I assume.
Yeah, it doesn't park itself, but you've got an app and you can back it in using the app. So it's single axle.
Single axle.
So it'll move the wheels, the spin, kind of like a tank does or something like that. It does have the...
Yep. Look at these tires, aren't they unusual?
Yep.
And it has the light on the top, the light on the bottom. There's a dark strip similar to the Midnight Flamingo.
Yeah, but that's completely dark.
Yeah.
as well as the window outlines. Look at this window outline
Yeah,
here.
the window outline is really
How cool would
interesting.
that have looked on the Midnight Flamingo?
Yes.
You know, concept vehicles oftentimes don't make it into full-blown production, but the point is to kind of test out new technologies, as well as some of the stuff will end up in production.
So,
like,
yeah.
you know, whatever.
Some
This
of the
front
ideas,
treatment's pretty cool.
Yeah, some of the ideas may end up in production itself, but the inside is very interesting. The color, it's a combination of yellow, blue, and green. Some vibrant colors. It looks like it has a separate shower and bathroom, a rear bed, and a single induction stove cooktop. Probably has I couldn't see, but it sure has a convection microwave, a smaller Dometic fridge, and a front dinette. So very interesting concept this has.
How long is this?
This is 22 feet.
Okay, so I was going to say, it looks just like about our length.
Yeah,
The thing
right.
that I found interesting was this honking big emergency stop switch. It's like, ah, as you're backing the thing into a river or something.
Yeah, but it has the European style
Yeah, this is weird.
hitch. What kind of hitch is that?
I have no idea what that is.
That is interesting.
But the little front hair thing, I think that looks pretty cool.
Yep. Very, very cool. So I hope I have identified this correctly, but I think I have. This is the E version of the base camp, and it's brand new. It came out this year, and I'm identifying it by these cool rock guards that are very similar to the Midnight Flamingo.
They look identically in form and function.
And I'm just curious of how this would stand up under the road with like rocks hitting it and stuff. I wonder
Right.
if it would shift or something, but I'm hoping, you know, I think they would have tested that ahead of time. So the other feature that helped identify it as well is this blacked out wheel that's also similar to the Midnight Flamingo, yet this is a beefier tire than the Midnight Flamingo. This is more of a truck sized tire, I would believe.
Yeah, it's a truck tire.
Yeah. So, but this version actually is sort of an all-electric version, very similar to the eStream inside. And they had a whole video come out on this in March of this year.
What's the one feature that would totally make this base camp look absolutely
Sweet.
freaking awesome?
They would have some chainsaws.
Chainsaws! Chainsaws would look awesome on this thing.
Yes, just like the Midnight Flamingo, I think. So they would go right there and make this trailer look very snazzy.
One of the things that people, I think everybody does this when they're at the Terra Port, is you kind of go through the Airstreams that are awaiting service here that
Yeah.
are parked. I don't think ours was out here a whole lot because probably from October to January it was sitting out here. And again, thanks to the viewers that captured that, but we were inside for the rest of the winter, which I guess is good.
Well, it's
But-
probably not bad.
But one of the things that people like doing is just walking and checking out any damage, but also checking out any unique and unusual Airstreams
There's
that are
some
here.
usually here, so it's always fun to look.
And we found at least two.
Yes.
So Cindy, why don't you take it away on the first one here?
Okay.
We'll take a look at this one first, cool Airstream.
Yes. So one of the unusual models that we found here was the 50th anniversary for the Wally Byam Club, as it was called Wally Byam Club before it was called the Airstream Club International. And this is a 34-foot classic, but it's a limited edition. See, it has a little limited edition pink thing here, and it's a gold colored for the golden anniversary. So I love the gold touches here. I love the gold trim, and they even finished with the triple axle gold tire.
Those are sweet. Look at the accents on this.
Yes.
Look at how sweet this is. What a beautiful Airstream.
It is very, very nice.
So what's so 75 would be then 2030.
Yes, that will be, if they come out with a limited edition, then it'll be the diamond version. So that would be interesting to see what they come out with.
Hopefully Airstream will honor, I think they will honor the club with a
Yeah.
75th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
Just like this one with the
So
gold
it'll
stripe.
be a diamond version, so we'll be interested to see what they come out with.
This is one of the Auto Camp Airstreams. And Auto Camp is a luxury glamping kind of resort where you can stay in cabins or in this type of Airstream. And it's distinguished by a couple of very interesting features. Such as here, it's got a Lexan window, which is very interesting. There's no windows on the back side, so these things would plop up against the front here, so you wouldn't need any windows on the back.
They actually make these here, correct?
Yeah, yep. I don't know why it's here. A weird door operating system
That
with
looks
a weird.
like a card key.
Yes, and it's a little windy here.
Yes.
Again, here's a non-opening window. They've got, of course, just the cheap steel wheels and crappy tires. They're just going to tow it to the auto camp and kind of be done with things.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a different kind of Airstream. They've got these little hooks. I don't know what those would be for.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
It's very different.
I don't know what this is for either, this thing.
I think the door attaches to that.
And this
It's like
one
a
right
magnet
here.
thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. But it does have a car key opening. So, very interesting.
Airstream Auto Camp.
Yep.
Okay, this Airstream definitely needs chain socks. But did you know that we also make a version of chain socks for your Hensley or your Pro Pride hitch? They're a little bit longer than the normal size chain socks, but you can order those specifically to make sure, even if you have that other hitch style, you can order the longer length. If you've got every other hitch style, like an Equalizer, Blue Ox, or Reese Dual Cam, order the standard chain socks, but make your chains, that boring piece of safety equipment, look spiffy, and your chain should never bottom up. If they ever do, chain socks will keep them from perhaps creating a spark and maybe even starting a forest fire. So link is in the description below. Get your chain socks. All right, weather is getting nasty. We just met with the security guard, who you can see briefing the other Airstreamers here in the Terra Port. So we actually have a plan. So she will make the decision, the security guard, based on either sirens or other information that she possesses. She's briefing each of us. There's only 6 of us here at the Terra Port tonight, so she's briefing each of us as to what will happen. She'll bang on the door, and then we'll all run like bats out of hell to door number 5. So we're gonna go ahead and recon that door, see what it looks like. But the important point here is always to have a plan, and to have that plan before the storm hits, which we're doing. I can't speak highly enough about the security guard here, who's literally just making sure we know what to do in the event that the worst happens. All right, I'm making the walk to our door where we're supposed to go. I talked to some fellow Airstreamers. They're bringing bourbon. We're responsible for wine. So we've got the contingencies covered. We're gonna go ahead and practice this walk just in case there's any obstructions or something, and check out our door. All right, so this is the door we're gonna be going to get in. It looks like we get some chairs here that are kind of covered with that scaffolding, so if we have to sit for a while, we can do that. Hopefully we won't need to. We were just commenting how dark it's looking in that direction, which is where the storm's coming in from. How you get that bright where the sun is setting, just kind of illuminating that area of clouds right there. It's just kind of a cool weather pattern. You guys know I love weather, watching it. Over the factory tonight. So normally during periods of high wind, I stake Dishy down, but this surface here is as hard as concrete, so there was no staking Dishy down. So, you know, the Airstream factory Terra Port has Wi-Fi. Ooh, nice little lightning bolt. Has Wi-Fi available, so we'll just use the Airstream factories. Put Dishy away so she doesn't blow away. What's happening to our fellow Airstreamer there? He's driving around.
I mean, he's just driving
He hitched up right before the storm, and as the storm is hitting, he's like driving around trying to find like
a spot to just get out of the wind and the rain. It's really weird. He was over there to begin with, and he went over here and turned around, and now it's just waves of rain coming at us right now.
I think Cindy commented that we have not felt the Airstream move this much since Hurricane Nicole.
Or maybe that tow to Bar Harbor, remember that wind?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad too. But
well, why are you not nervous about getting hit by lightning? Remind our viewers once again.
because this is a Faraday cage.
Yep. Like an automobile, so or an airplane, you know, if a lightning bolt were to hit us with our metal skin, it would flow around the metal skin and then dissipate into the ground, so we would not be killed.
This is some intense rain here.
I think this guy's literally just trying to move.
I mean, if we get hail, I mean, his position is not going to help him at all. But he's just trying to get out of the wind, I guess, and the rain.
You know what? We're just hunkered down.
Yeah, we are. We're just going to hunker down and have dinner.
Join us next week as we leave Jackson Center and start our 2025 camping season.
So if you like this video,
Give us a big thumbs up
and if you think we earned a subscription, click subscribe.
and comment below if you've recently been to Jackson Center.
because we come out with RV and Airstream related videos just like this one every Tuesday.
Thanks for watching.